Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're unpacking some truly unsettling accounts of the night folk. We're drawing directly from Isaac Cooper's pretty chilling work, The Night Folk, Spirits of the Swamp.
Yeah.
So this is real deep dive into the kind of lore that, well, it sticks with you long after the lights go out. We're venturing into the notorious Bayou Noir and Blue Water Marsh. Cooper paints this vivid picture, calls it a land that rots beneath heavy mist, and the moon's reflection dances on black water.
Yeah.
It just perfectly sets that feeling of dread.
Yeah, it really does. And what's immediately fascinating, in Cooper's research is how he frames the central mystery, their origins. It's not just who are they? It's more like what are they?
Yeah.
The sources he presents offer these conflicting whispers. Are they, say, runaway slaves, outcast voodoo priests, or maybe exiled swamp dwellers driven mad by isolation?
Right, the harsh conditions out there.
Exactly. Or, and this is where it gets really creepy, are they something much older, more primal, maybe spirits, revenants bound to the muck and moss by ancient curses?
Wow. So human desperation or something supernatural?
Precisely. And the terrifying truth Cooper emphasizes, whatever their origin. The material warns, you don't come back the same from an encounter, if you come back at all. It suggests this transformation, something beyond just physical injury.
That ambiguity alone is terrifying, isn't it? Knowing that potential for harm. What do they actually look like, according to Cooper's accounts? Is there a consistent image that comes through?
Oh, absolutely. The descriptions are remarkably consistent, and they paint a truly horrific picture. They mostly come out under moonlight, their faces, described as bone white, like devoid of color, and their bodies are slick with swamp mud as if they just, rose right out of the bog.
Ew. Like they're part of the swamp itself.
Kinda, yeah. And what really stands out is their movement. It's described as absolute silence. The only sound is this eerie hissing and clicking language. It doesn't sound human at all.
Hissing and clicking. Okay.
Yeah, more like something inhuman. And their eyes, Cooper notes specifically, gleam with an unnatural hunger.
Yeah.
A predatory look, like any trace of humanity is just gone. Their clothes, if you can call it that, are just as unsettling. Rags and hides, crudely stitched with, bone needles and swamp vines. It helps them blend right in. It's less like clothing, more like a second skin made of the swamp.
Okay, so definitely not just some campfire story. They sound actively dangerous. Given that look and this weird, almost primordial connection to the swamp, how do they operate? Are their hunting methods as unique as they look?
That's where you really see their adaptation to the environment. It's quite distinct. Unlike others in the area using guns, the night folk don't. Their methods are brutal, primal really. They use crude melee weapons and bows, so close quarters fighting.
Up close and personal.
Very. But their real genius, maybe, is how they use the swamp itself. Cooper details these cunning, almost invisible traps, snare lines, pitfall traps, sharpened sticks hidden under leaves, that sort of thing.
Ambush predators, essentially.
Exactly. These aren't random attacks. When they strike, it's sudden and overwhelming. Cooper describes it as a blur of blades and gurgling screams. It's less a fight, more a perfectly staged ambush, designed to confuse and overpower you in that dense, dark marsh. It almost feels like the swamp itself is trying to grab you.
That's horrifying. So for anyone unlucky enough to actually encounter them, what happens? If they even survive the attack, what's the grim reality for the victims?
Well, the outcome is chilling. Many travelers just vanished, no trace. And when bodies are found, they're rarely intact. Cooper's accounts give this disturbing picture. Victims found strung up between cypress branches, gutted, dismembered, or arranged ritualistically.
Ritualistically. That implies something more than just killing.
It really does. It speaks to something beyond violence or robbery, and maybe the most disturbing part. The night folk apparently carry pieces of their victims back into the marsh, almost like collecting trophies. Or, for some dark rituals, it's not just about ending a life, it's what they do with the remains that hints at something much darker.
Which brings us to maybe the deepest insight Cooper offers here. If you connect that brutality, those rituals, it suggests a really disturbing belief system, right? Something beyond just being bandits hiding out. What does Cooper say about why they do this?
This is really fascinating. It seems it's not just about survival for them. It's presented as this profound, almost a primal rejection of civilization. It makes the night folk seem less like a gang and more like a living manifestation of the swamp's anger, nature fighting back against intrusion.
The swamp's vengeance.
That's a good way to put it. That's the chilling insight Cooper offers. Rumors suggest they worship ancient swamp spirits and practice voodoo rites specifically meant to, quote, keep outsiders at bay. People have found crude shrines deep in the bog, altars of bones, candles floating on fetid water, markings that twist the mind. It all points to this deep, maybe distorted spiritual connection to the land.
And this intense hatred for outsiders.
Yeah, why? Cooper's account says they despise gold hunters, railroad surveyors, or loggers. Basically, anyone bringing the noise and, well, greed of the cities, anyone trying to tame or exploit the wild. Their tools, their gear often found scattered around shrines, like offerings.
Offerings to some unseen entity. Or warnings.
Could be both. It's a clear message, isn't it? The swamp demands respect. Or it'll take it. Definitely makes you think twice about wandering off the path, right?
It absolutely does.
Right.
So what does this all mean for us, thinking about the night folk? They're not just characters. Cooper presents them as the embodiment of the swamp's vengeance, its living curse.
Yeah.
A chilling reflection, perhaps, of what happens when nature's pushed too far. It leaves you with this really potent question. What does it mean when the very land you stand on, the shadows themselves, are hungry? Remember, at night in Bayou Noir, the shadows have eyes. And they are hungry.